and its learning outcomes. And then Snezhana has shared suggestions for the tutorial on the curriculum. If you remember, some weeks ago, you filled in a questionnaire, and you fill in it and send me your answers. Now I try to show you the results, but before I'd like you to show the questionnaire, so you have in mind it. I'd like to share. Perfect. And okay, this is the questionnaire. I think that most of you knows it. If you remember, there were some information about country and organizations, and then there are 9 questions on housing and the particular period we were living, the pandemic. Okay, I received 17 forms filled in, and I've tried to analyze the answers. Can you see my PowerPoint now or not?
Yes.
Okay. This is part of the CIVIC output, part of the tutorial. Of course, we'll try to integrate all this with Sladiana's suggestion and what we are we'll discuss today, and a tutorial for using the Euro curriculum after changes in habits and lifestyles due to the pandemic experience. This is the topic of the report. Participants were people from the partners organization. We started from 9 questions posed to the stakeholders. I've organized the answers in 9 clouds of meaningful words that summarize training skills and needs that emerged from your feedback. And then we found some specific units of the curriculum aimed to support and develop those skills. So this is I'd like to, okay. This is the first slide. I'd like to explain it very well because the other 8 are quite similar, okay. On the top, you see the question: did your organization meet new resources or expertise, new motivation, new tools in affording housing pathways? This was the first question you have answered. And then in the slide, you find on the left the meaningful words from the answer, the question number 1. You find on the right side indication to the related modules, units of the curriculum, and you see words, a number of words, because 724 were words you used to answer to this question. Is it clear? Now I know that you know the curriculum, so I think you can understand that when I found the curriculum in module 2 units blah blah blah, you can understand what I'm saying. But just have a look to this to the answer, because it's quite interesting. You see on the left some meaningful words I've selected from the 724 words. And you say training, new activities, case by case, strengthened the collaborations, improve education. There are keywords found in the answers for this question. Did your organization meet new resources, expertise, motivation, tools? Okay, and in these answers we found avoid burnout, rehabilitation, unknown relationships, training, phone support. They are evocative, important words, emotional words that well define the answers you have done. From this, we can bridge to the curriculum if we want to train people on these subjects. And in particular, we found some topic related to this kind of words in module 2, unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and so on. We have given a title. Thank you to Pina and Massimiliano for helping me in this one. We have given a title for each group or answer we have analyzed. In this case, we have found a journey towards housing, new perspective for housing from solid and flexible experiences to multidisciplinary cooperation in order to answer the user's needs and wishes. Okay, in this slide, you find the main meaning of the answer you all have done. We can go to, is there any question? Are you doubt something? Is it clear how is structured the slide? Okay, I go on. If you don't stop me. This is the second question. What happened concerning the neighborhood, the life in apartment, and social life? This is one of the question which with more words, 978, and some of the meaningful words are limits, change, fair, solidarity, lost usual functioning, more time at home, day centers not in use, difficulties, modified habits, limited accesses. And the title we have chosen was Changes at Home. Changes, limits, and new issues facing new critical events are an opportunity for developing new skills and new social situations. Here you find the correlated modules as well, module 1, units 1A, 1B, 3, and so on. I found this very strong with these limits, very important, selected. Question number 3. Did people miss their habits in cultural activities, jobs, sports? I can read some meaningful words. Remote learning, the decreased leisure, no from home, no team sports, changed habits, individual sport, women, nearest supermarket, painting and music, adapting to change, volunteers forbidden. This is a very interesting word. Giving up habits, increased isolation, and so on. Home equal health. Home as the core for sport, work, training, activities, and for socialization. Home as the core of all external activities. This is the main meaning of these answers. 716 words. Question number 4. Did you answer to this questionnaire? I think so. Question number 4, what happened to mental health and quality of life? We received 844 words for this question. You can see that no leisure, claustrophobia, no longer outsiders, better balance, everyone forced, fewer gratifications, stress are the main words. And isolation in the new normal isolation is the new normal, is the title we choose. And normality is isolation. The pursuit of balance is based on social withdrawal, fear, stress, doubts on the future, sharing of common distress. You can see that this comment on the right and the meaningful words as well are very interesting if you see them from a training perspective. What can we do with people to improve their abilities, their skills to stay in this situation where these emotions are so strong? Question number 5. Did people somehow adapt to the big change of life due to the pandemic? And we have cost, avoiding problems, sacrifice, persecutory feelings, compulsory adaptation, threats to be avoided, underestimate issues, isolation, disregard rules, reduce stigma, ASAP, share, and the others you can read. Adaptation and resilience is the title we choose. New effective resources for adaptation have been activated by isolation due to due to the pandemic critical event. Question number 6. What criteria must be kept in mind when planning house sharing? We found here life cycle, re-educational target, refi, challenges of the area, playmates compatibility, share experiences, common issues, personal space, good fit, flexibility, discomfort, common space, local network, neighborhood, and so on. We call this answer shared freedom. Freedom means autonomy. It arises by sharing rules in order to support civil living at home and in the neighborhood. Question number 7. Which skills are important to acquire in a cohabitation? Exchange, personal care, autonomy, happy to share, housework, grocery shopping, needs, asking, learn from each other, respect flatmates, cooking, difficulties of others, collaboration, rules. Living together is a creative activity. Sharing ideas, experiences, opinions, and needs, develop new skills and individual improvement. 770 words, 74 words. The question number 8, what kind of expertise should a mental health professional have when he or she is involved in housing project? The answer underlined network, housing experience, needs identifiers, adequate support, neighbors, give users what they need, teamwork, cohabitation, empathy, communication on mental health issues, psychology, housing experience, and so on. Empathy and professionalism. Mental workers help users to bridge themselves from needs to their satisfaction. And here is the last question, other. If you remember, if you have something else to share. Here we found multi-professional, integrated continuous care, housing forever, neighborhoods, investment in human resources, multifunctionality, rehabilitative path, let's hope, weakness of the system, home, lacking in guidelines. Housing's life. Housing must be intended as a continuum where empathic interactions among users, professionals, and local communities are necessary. Hoping change is a determinant factor in people's lives. Okay. That's all. And I'm curious to hear from you about this kind of show, the results of the survey. I can add something on the methodology I use. It is quite simple. I have collected all your answers and I've underlined some words, the meaningful words, of course, in my opinion. And I've selected them and use an easy program to organize the words in the clouds. And I've asked for help to find in which part of the curriculum we could find some information, some training, some training activities related to those words. So some from the team of the arts helping those in this work, and we created this kind of PowerPoint, this kind of structure for the results of the survey.
I think that the whole story is really about this pandemic situation, isolation, and is really a new situation. So it's about the story that people need, let's say, skills how to adapt to this situation, or how to find out the best from this situation. So I think that, I don't know, do we have in curriculum something like helping people to increase their resilience, or skills for better coping with stress. So I think that's what the people need. They need it even if they live with somebody and now they are staying, they less can go out, and there is another responsibility to other people. So it's really a training of new skill and coping with stress.
Mm-hmm. But it was quite a challenge for us to find, to look for a connection between the answers and the unit in the curriculum. But it was quite easy to find units in the curriculum that could could help in support this kind of issues. Also came out during the pandemic, and there are different units that underline the importance of coping, not only among professionals, but also among professionals and users, among users themselves when they live together in an apartment, in a house. So it's quite easy, because I think that the pandemic underlines some usual way usual issues. We saw them very well in the pandemic, some problems, but they are also the problems of every day. So it's not so difficult to connect the answer you've done with and the problems you have underlined with the possibility to help people in that issues using also the curriculum unit. But I think that we can read this, we can look at these results from two different points of view, with two different goals. One is to investigate what happened during the pandemic. So I found interesting and very appropriate to some words, some keywords for each question. So, for example, here the question number 1, did your organization meet new resources and expertise, new motivation, so on? About thoughts, training, new activities, case by case, introduce, improve, avoid burnout. And I've heard all this also in my daily life, working with mental health professionals in Rome. So I found they were very appropriate. Your answer, of course, are very appropriate to the question. If you look at the second here, limit, change, fair, very important in the pandemic, but also important in everyday life with people, for example, with the experience of mental health issues, but not only. And so I found interesting to find a very strong correspondence between the question and the answer. So we can read these reports, think about what happened in the pandemic, but it's also interesting to find the connection with the curriculum. Of course, we are here for this. And I think we can well integrate this in the tutorial because it's something that helps people to pass from a question, and for example, training, something new, strength collaboration, improve, and the units of the curriculum. So to aim to goals that we can reach reading this report. One is just to answer our curiosity to know in different countries what happened about what happened on housing in the pandemic, and the other is to connect this answer to the curriculum. Okay, if it's enough, this introduction to this report, then I'll send you, of course. I'd like to know something about, did you find or not. Because I